That's right. You thought you were going to get Chloe, and then you got me. It's a classic switcheroo early on the show. We've got that sort of show planned. One that is both exciting, filled with wit, and, you know, horrible stories about South Africa. No, not really. I think Chloe sat me down. She had a big chat to me in the boardroom, and she said, "You know what, Samuel? Last episode was too political." And she was right. It was too political.
I think it's nice though. You know, you mix it up. Some weeks.
Don't know. I'm not that sort of person. Just put me out of my misery.
You're right.
Just say it was too political. I just got excited.
Too political.
Like your dad, I just read one too many Daily Maverick articles.
Got a bit depressed.
Yeah, a bit depressed, but fired up to do the episode. And then we just got too deep down the rabbit hole. And a lot of hatred came from that. A lot of hatred.
Yeah. Those TikTok clips were
the
street.
Chloe, how are you doing? Because I think we can actually, I'll read out some of the comments because they're really funny, some of them.
How am I doing post comments or just
No, just in general. Just say hello while I pull this up with my fingers.
No, I'm doing good. Like I was saying, I'm back at uni and I'm really enjoying it. Last semester, we really want to do like a KETS takes UCT. For those who don't know, I'm at UCT. So we would let us know if that's something that we should do. We're probably going to do it anyways, TBH. But it'd be really nice to interview some people on campus. I think it'd be fun. Have you found them?
Yeah, they actually, I don't know if they're readable, but it's good that you're back at the U.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
I was saying that we should take KETS to UCT, interview people.
Oh, maybe.
Fun, yeah.
Yes. I don't know if I can do that.
What? Are they a bit too hectic?
I think they are. I did really think they would be funnier. Whites and their privilege is probably the safest one.
That's probably like the general sentiment that we got last week. And then also people...
Whites and their privilege.
And there was also comments about how, you know, Sam is being put in the friend zone and he doesn't stand a chance. And
those comments are irrelevant. Those aren't hurtful. The real hurtful comments are the ones around the political landscape in South Africa. Everyone's like, hey, you should talk more about politics. And you talk more about politics. Hey, you should shut the fuck up.
I love the one comment that we got, which was, why do these guys care so much about what's going on in South Africa? And then someone else comments, they are South African. And then the other person's like, oh, my bad. Sorry. Keep doing your thing.
Yeah, moving out. No, I find it's we do also have like some comment warriors who bat for us in the comments, but they quickly get tired, you know, because it's not
there's only so many battles you can do a day.
Exactly. You know? But it's good. We back. I mean, like last week. I mean,
I'm back.
You know.
And how are you doing? We chat about me. How are you?
Okay, I'm good. I'm in good spirits. You know, what is going on in my life? Well, that wasn't very exciting.
Sam's hair is looking luscious.
Luscious. There's volume here,
luscious,
people.
Yeah. Mullet?
No, the mullet is too common now. It used to be different, and now it's like any guy who thinks he's kind of edgy and maybe tells a couple of jokes around a bride.
Studying BCom.
Has a mullet, and I don't want that. I saw something online. It was like, you have to be the craziest motherfucker in a room to wear a mullet. And I think that's true. Like, you better be like shotgunning beers, breaking them open with your head, and, you know, just like being a general menace to society. You can't just be out here podcasting.
Billy from Stranger Things is the blueprint.
Oh, Billy. So sexy. How is that? I can't believe I'm in season 4 of Stranger Things because I hate stuff like, I hate fantasy, I hate scary stuff.
Sam hates scary stuff. And
that is scary. Oh no, it was you who told me it wasn't scary. It is terrifying. But
no, I said it's not like a horror show, maybe.
Oh yeah. No, I find it very scary. And so do you. We can't even eat when Stranger Things is on.
Guys, it was so funny. So Sam and I are busy watching an episode, and in the episode the lights go out.
Loadshedding.
And then load shedding happens at the same time for us. I've never heard Sam shriek that loud. He's, oh my God.
I didn't scream.
Maybe they must be just to treat us like that.
I did jump out of the bed, but I didn't scream.
You did. Maybe it's all a blur for you.
No, it's all made. I used to lie on the podcast. I'll be honest about it. I know my truth. I used to lie probably every sentence. Then KETS grew and I realized this was unsustainable. People were going to catch me out and said lies. So I've stopped lying. What you see is the complete and utter truth, hand on the Bible. Chloe, on the other hand.
I don't lie.
You lie. We even speak about it after episodes.
No,
Chloe must tell about 6 or 7 white lies per minute.
That's not true. However...
Interesting to hear that with someone with a flexible relationship around morality and truth.
However, there was one point in an episode where I was talking about my leggings splitting at the gym, which never happened. And then last week it did happen to me, like for real.
Well, maybe we have superpowers and like what you say on the podcast happens in 2 weeks. Oh, God. I've not said anything fun. But anyway, we've got a jam-packed episode, Chloe.
Yes,
I know
yes.
that was a weird point at me.
I was going to go for the weekend recap.
We're powering through that.
Okay.
We're going straight into the episode because it's jam-packed. And we've covered how much we hate this reliance on jam-packed. What sort of word is this? But we chat a bit about Cyril. Yes, I hear you. Oh, there you go again with the politics. Well, fuck you. We got them. But because it's about load shedding.
We slipped them in at the beginning, like your vegetables, you know.
Yes, you got to get some nutrients, some white propaganda, as people on the talk say. Anyway, we chat a bit about Britain's political situation because half of South Africa is in England. Saudi Arabia arresting TikTokers. Could we be next? These are the questions. Shakira, also known as Shakira, facing jail time. Oh boy.
Looks like those hips do lie.
Especially... No.
That was pretty funny.
That was funny. That's what I was thinking of a joke and I realized you had done the joke. I was like, this is uncharted territory. Nice one.
Thanks.
Hey. It's the easiest way to make a kid laugh. Take that tip or don't. And then, of course, we do our usual KETS sport. Where we cover a bit of UFC 277. Well, not cover. There's no coverage. And we just talk about it. And then the F1. Because you guys have been begging for F1 chat. And
we love it.
No, we do. We do love a bit of F1.
I love to be like an armchair sports commentator.
Absolutely.
Even though I know nothing about sports.
But first, to really set the standard, we want you, the audience, the KETS loyalists, the toasties, to decide whether I should continue singing or not. And again, I'm feeling nervous. Tears are welling up in my eyes because Chloe and I have had many a fight about this. And I think I, have a good set of pipes in these lungs.
Sure.
And Chloe doesn't. So what's that popular song that's doing the rounds at the moment again? Big City Life. Yeah. It's become, Big City Life, that one. But so I'll give you the first 3 words. And you let me know if I should continue or I have to stop and be taken to jail. Count me in, Chloe.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
One more time. God, this is... I now think after fake crying, I've got something in my eye and am actually crying. Can you see it? Is it discernible?
Yeah, you have tears.
Have I been caught in 4K?
No, you're okay.
Count me in.
1.
And more of a jazz beat.
Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Stop.
Big City Life. I could hear that one. Big City Life. It's hard to get by.
No, Sam. I will say, Sam,
okay, no, I think
you can
agree.
sing. You've sometimes been able to sing "Yellow" by Coldplay pretty well.
Oh, that's true.
We'll give that to you.
Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bone.
So not that time, but other times, yes.
This is bringing up such childhood trauma. It's like when your parents were like, sing something, or like, guests come around, look at them sing and tap dance, shut up, papa. And you actually sucked, and they told you could, and now you're singing on a podcast, and you just... But anyway,
it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that's what you only say to losers. We need to chat about the state of losing in the world. We should be more right with losing and having losers.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to say.
The end.
The end. It's fine to lose.
So
you can't win without losing.
Unless you win the lottery first try. I mean, then that's just a W. But let's chat a bit about, we had a family meeting. I didn't attend. I didn't even know it was happening. But
family meetings are only for times of crisis. It's like normal family meetings. Like if it's just someone's birthday, you're like, oh, happy birthday, maybe see you there. But if someone's addicted to drugs, everyone goes because you want to know what drugs they're addicted to. And chat over to your favorite cousin about how this family is falling apart, and see your gran, because ultimately you love your gran. She's a great human.
Intervention.
The matriarch.
But we did have a family meeting last week, and Cyril brought up his 10-point plan to combat our power crisis or load shedding issue. And what I found so funny was it's kind of like COVID all over again, because he's now like trying to appeal to the public.
We pay already.
Once more. Like, okay, guys, so the ball's in your court now. You're going to have to start reducing your electricity. I'm like, you guys do that for us anyway.
Yeah.
I can't use the electricity for 4 hours a day.
No, and this is even when we were children.
Even when
you could see that, like, the meter they'd put on the television, they'd be like, electricity usage is high. And I used to go around and switch off lights. Not anymore. I go and switch on lights. I can't take it.
Your dad's in his study. Just switch off the lights. Oh, it's dark in here. Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Daddy. Sorry, Tata.
Sorry, Daddy. The
Please don't
president
beat
says-
me up like usual. I'm tired of that. Shout out people getting beaten up. Chances are you might be redheaded too.
But yeah.
That's an olden times opinion, hey?
What?
You know, like redheads not being cool. I think it's cool again now.
I saw this thing
I think
about...
they're in vogue. They're in fashion again.
Quite literally, yeah. But I saw an article saying that redheads are slowly going to go extinct because of global warming.
They don't spend a lot of time in the sun.
Well, they can't. They've got such
Sunburn.
fair skin.
And they are basically the devil incarnate.
Yeah.
So stay away from the redhead. But where did that come
No,
from?
it's
Oh, the
so-
redheads, you know.
It's so terrible.
Ranger. People love that at school. Ranger. Jeez. I think it's just because it phonetically sounded fun. Ranger.
Yeah. I mean, probably.
Also, high school is just legitimately bullying someone a little more than you're being bullied. And saying, haha, we're joking.
Probably pretty
Well,
fair,
no,
yeah.
I mean, that's at an
Yeah.
all-boys school, that's for sure. It's like, haha, you're fat. Haha, you're a ginger. Haha, you're a fat ginger.
Oh, yeah,
Ah,
girls-
you got me.
Until one of you taps out. Whereas like girls' schools, it's all behind everyone's back. And it's nasty, hey?
I suppose. It's
very nasty.
I prefer the boy out in the open.
Me too.
Yeah. Not saying that it's good bullying, of course. But it does exist. I'm just saying I don't get the ginger bullying. Never have, never will.
Yeah. Fair. The end.
The end yet again. But what else is the ANC doing with load shedding, Chloe?
Well, so it's not only going to be up to us. They are going to be accepting, I think, like from private power producers. So like, let's say you've got your own rev, they'll buy it from you. And then what I also found funny was we're going to import power from Botswana and Zambia because they have more electricity capacity than they require.
Christ.
Compared to us.
Botswana, we've fallen off the charts there, so I'm still fuck Botswana. But if you give us how are we getting stuff from Botswana? That's a sorry state of affairs. That's not good.
I know.
It's like asking your little brother for money. But I don't have any. I'm like, fine, I'll take 2 lollipops and, those underpants.
Break that. What?
I don't know why I'm getting these underwear. That is odd. But anyway. But how do they have more? Is it because there's less dense populations?
I just probably think that their power generation is
better.
They're actually making it. So
That's crazy. But there are also a lot of green energy projects coming up.
true.
And that's always when I get worried. What is this green? I mean, wasn't the coal? What about the black project? The coal. I understand the coal. Well, I don't understand coal because I don't know what it looks like. Couldn't really point at a coal.
No, come
A
on.
hot coal. Like
For real?
Eskom's coal. The wet coal.
They use the same coal as I think that you put in your like braai or your Weber.
Oh, well, then I know exactly what coal is. I just didn't know it was called that.
Couldn't tell you what coal looks like.
I thought those were
honestly.
briquettes.
cold briquettes.
You see, the marketing man has got me again, making me look like a fool on this podcast. But the green energy projects are bullshit. Actually, I don't know. I don't know anything about them, but they sound fake.
Yeah, it's just like sus.
Like recycling is known for like a lot of good things. Generating power is not one. Like solar power, very slow. Windy things needs lots of windy. Wind turbines, unless you're in fucking St. Francis.
St. Francis, yeah, I was going to say, those things are massive there.
But wait, so what are these green? Because I'm obviously, just poking fun at these things. I'd love for them to work. What are they? Or you don't know?
No, he's, it's like that sort of like vague, like, oh, this is my 10-point plan and we're going to be implementing like urban greening projects and producing power. And it's like, with what money?
Oh, yeah. I always love the jobs one. It's like, we're going to get more jobs. And it was like, how? Like, well, by making more jobs.
Oh, the biggest joke is, we're going to stop corruption with the anti-corruption council, which then became corrupt. So
that's like the most South African, that should be like a South African proverb. Or no, not a proverb, just a life lesson.
Yeah, honestly.
Stop trying to be corrupt, just embrace it.
Yeah.
I think that's a takeaway there. But he's also said, like, after years of state capture and mismanagement by, his party.
By me.
Yeah, a capable and effective management team is working hard to turn the utility around and reverse years of decay. That's what Big Dog Cyril said. But it's also like when you apply for a job interview or you start your own business rather, and it's like, well, we're going to do bottled water. And they're like, so how's it different? No, we're going to work harder than all the people who have done bottled water before. And you're like, yeah, that's probably not going to work. Like, so this new team, like, they're just more effective. They're probably going to just steal more.
Woo!
If they're more intelligent, they'll get more from it.
I also just like, and I mean, Cyril said this in his speech as well, but everyone's kind of been saying it. They're like, no, I mean, Eskom's a state-owned corporation. It's too big to fail. And you're like, is it? And has it not failed?
Yeah. Eskom was the first thing I heard in school, parastatal.
Oh, yeah.
And I always thought that was Oscar Pistorius, but it turns out that it's... No. Boo. You see, this is why we need a soundboard. Send us money so we can buy, and I can go, wow, 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 or boo, or shut the fuck up. That would be a good one.
Or I think there's need to have one which goes, Samuel, and then you can just implement that on yourself from me.
Yeah, from you. Oh. Shut up.
I heard the word...
You're just like Pop Pop. Stranger Things like references. Pop. If you don't know, no, yeah. But yeah, what's the term they always use when they talk about things that are like, it's a term that irritates me so much. Too big to fail. And I think he said something like that. Eskom is too big to fail. What does that mean? I've always wondered this. It's like, I mean, I get it in terms of what they, imitate what it means. But what does it?
I know. The Titanic was pretty big.
Exactly. Goliath, for all of our religious viewers.
Pretty big
dude. So you can fail. But I do know the sentiments. I just don't like the actual, saying.
Yeah. It doesn't really make sense.
Too big to fail.
Yeah.
Failed.
Let's bash the ANC more.
Is that what you got planned for the episode? Still some more?
No, you see, we're still eating our vegetables.
Yeah, okay.
We're getting through the politics. But this is potentially exciting. Again, let's not get our hopes up, right? But the ANC says that a basic income grant is on the cards.
Okay.
So obviously we've had our 350 Rand SRD grant, which has been extended. Obviously that was created during COVID, and that's been extended to March of 2023. But I mean, that's 350 Rand.
Yeah.
So it's being proposed that the basic income grant will be 3 times that amount. So it's like 1,200 and something. And that's the upper bound poverty line.
Wow.
In South Africa.
That's insulting.
1,200 Rand is the upper bound poverty line.
Upper bound.
That's what they want to introduce, which would be really cool.
Yeah, no, I mean...
It would be good. It's not a lot of money, but if we could achieve it, I think it would be good.
Well, South Africa is already like pretty much a welfare state, but the welfare is unbelievably insulting and very hard to be livable. So yes, there are also like a lot of capitalist arguments, and this is people aren't going to work. No one's working already. We've got like the highest unemployment stats of all time.
Yeah.
So a basic income grant, and again, it's not like it's a lot of money, like
No,
1,200 rand. I think it's 1,268 rand.
Quick maths.
As a big, but no, I think I read the article, or I'm just lying now. But a basic income grants, also known as big, oh yeah, will help a tremendous amount of people.
Yeah.
It is also just deeply sad to know that that's like the sort of level that certain people are living at, like around $1,000 in terms of a month to massively change your life.
And there's sort of touting this as being able to eradicate poverty in South Africa because it's the upper bound poverty line. You know, no one would be living below the poverty line for 1,200 rand a month.
That would be great. And like if we lived in, you know, I don't know, La La Land, but things just become more expensive.
Yeah,
like this is half a tank of petrol now, so... Yeah, I mean, it's just not great, but, you know, South Africans have to work. That's the... Yeah. And I use this as a subsidy, but then they still need to be jobs available. And at the moment, it just doesn't seem like there are. It doesn't matter if you chat to someone with a grade 10, someone with a matric, someone with a BCom or BA university degree, even an honors degree. It's very hard out there in the market, in the job market. So a lot of people have... A lot of young people, I don't know, I'm giggling now. But a lot of people have given up on dreams, you know, very early doors or industries or what they really want to pursue and work in because there's just no opportunity there. It's pretty sad. And on that note, which celebrity is fucking with another celebrity? Our latest segment. No, that's not a segment. It just got a bit too heavy, that.
Yeah, no, true. Yeah.
Chloe's finished.
A bit much. Okay, well, we can move on to something maybe a bit... This is not funny. At least no one was harmed. But...
A box of sex toys caused a massive accident on the N2 and KZN. And I know you're thinking, sex toys? Yeah, that's right.
Like a massive blue dildo.
A blue one? Wow.
Talk about unrealistic
Are those back in fashion?
Huh?
Yeah, you couldn't believe it. Like we finally, you know, did the deed and his dick wasn't 12 inches blue and made out of plastic.
Avatar.
Wow. Ooh.
Avatar too.
I wonder if Avatar led
tentacles?
to... Chloe, there you go with the tentacle porn again. But no.
But yeah, it's terrible. So apparently it flew off the back of a bakkie, obstructed someone's view. The sex toys flew onto their windscreen and they crashed. They were fine.
Imagine it's like... Oh, hey, what's my wife still doing here? Oh, double reveal. No, that's terrifying.
It's also just like you would never expect that to happen to you.
I think it's alien warfare. Like the vibrator comes and starts on your seat.
You know, it does remind me of a story in 2015 where it was a woman in England, not South Africa.
God, I thought you were going to give us a vibrator story. I was scared and somewhat aroused.
It is.
Oh, okay.
This woman was stuck in traffic. So she started using her vibrator. And then she hit the accelerator by mistake. Like, obviously, you know, got a bit excited or whatever.
She's like, I'm coming.
Into the back of you. And like rear-ended the car in front of her. Again, no one was hurt, just funny. And like, how are you going to explain why you accelerating?
I know, and she's usually the one being rear-ended. Isn't that hilarious? Wow. No, that's great. Wow, Chloe. Did you know this person?
She's from the UK.
You can know people in the UK.
No.
You know about the UK.
No shame. Like, this made news.
Sure.
This poor woman.
But not this poor woman. Oh, so if a man had done that, it would have been, this guy's a crazy maniac. He needs to be restrained and his testicles chopped off. You know?
The sex freak. Yeah, true.
There's so many more options out there for women.
You do you, girl.
It's like empowerment, like... You know, like we should be able to play with vibrators at the robots. No, fuck that shit. Men don't really have toys of their own, do they?
They definitely do. Lots.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm very conservative.
Have you ever bought a sex toy?
No. I went into adult world once. I found it to be genuinely the most scary place on earth.
Me too.
It's It's like any of those sex/money things that when you're young, you're like, I can't wait to go. It'll be fun. And then you like go to a casino or you go to a adult world or a strip club, allegedly, never been. And it's like, oh, this is weird. This is super, super weird. But sex work is real work.
Exactly. But
Clicks
now sells vibrators. So you don't even have to go into a sex store to buy that anymore.
Oh, really? Well, no.
Occupy yourself during traffic. Buy a vibrator from Clicks.
That's a new slogan. Not even racist this time. There you go, Clicks. Wasn't that hard.
Ayo.
But no. The only time I remember being in Clicks is buying a pregnancy test. I thought I was pregnant. Luckily. And then one of my teachers at the time was there as well. They're like, oh, hello. And I'm like, hee. What are you doing here? I was like, oh, yeah, just buying strepsils, It was a weird time.
Oh, God.
The baby's healthy. Jane is 2 and lives with her mother.
They've been watching Stranger Things. Yeah. You're just like Papa.
Yeah, just like Papa. But speaking of things that are actually real, Benni McCarthy, South African legend, has now been appointed as one of the first team coaches for Manchester United. You would have seen this. Even if you didn't know who he was, you would have seen a guy in a Manchester United shirt shared by one of your friends, because it's amazing. Because as South Africans, we have like this obsession with foreign football. Like no one really watches, Super Disky. We all watch Harry Maguire and the boys trundle around. So, I mean, forget what I'm saying there. It's just absolutely amazing that Benni McCarthy is now coaching at one of Manchester United probably is the biggest football club in the world. Yeah. Just yes, we get it. Oh, shut up, you Chelsea and Liverpool fans. You're massive too. But just in terms of reach and name, and that's what Manchester United is definitely number one. And I say that with no hate in my heart. For banter clubs like Arsenal. But, I mean, I don't watch soccer, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, he said soccer. He called it soccer. What am I going to do?
It was the most
Calm down.
jarring
I live in
thing.
Claremont. Shut the fuck up.
We were at Hudson's on the weekend, and the soccer's on, and you're like trying to take a sip of your drink, and all of a sudden, it's like, wow! And you're like, oh, fuck.
Mo Salah's my boy. He's my boy. He is my boy, though. So it's a lot. But we're going to move to some more global news, because we are, after all, the Mr. Worldwide podcast.
Mr. Worldwide.
Dale.
So where in the world are we starting?
With the news, the global news, the news that occupies the globe. Well, let's start with something that's very close to our heart. TikTok and Saudi Arabia.
Renegade.
Less Saudi Arabia, more TikTok. Because there's a Saudi Arabian TikToker that has been arrested, and she is known as Tala Safwan. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But she has been arrested on the sort of basis that she's making comments on live streams that have lesbian undertones, or as the Saudi police called it, lesbian undermoans, as you could hear there. That's exactly how it goes. But imagine living in a country where you I can't even, from what that sounds like, there wasn't even like massive, out there comments. It was undertones.
I've got it. She says, Safwan asked her friend to visit her house, saying that everyone will be asleep and no one will hear her scream.
Undertones. I knew it.
It's a bit like, ooh.
They weren't lesbian undertones. It was all about moaning. The Saudi government couldn't take it for one more second. Too busy probably watching lesbian porn at their desk jobs. You heard me, Saudi police people.
You heard me. No.
How crazy is that this is still happening? So she's been arrested. Where's she been detained? Hopefully not with other women. That really confused the Saudi police.
No shame, it is. No shame. Like, she's been put in prison, this poor woman.
Sorry.
And I mean,
I'm
she's
allergic to homophobia.
Nice. She's she had 5 million TikTok followers. I think that's also why it's gotten such a reach. People are like, where's Safwan gone?
Yeah.
But imagine being like in a country where you can be arrested for having, and I quote, a negative impact on public morality.
Sure.
Morality.
It's a negative impact on public morality. Murdering journalists. That tends to have an impact on
and arresting people for being homosexual. That's even if she is like.
That's why Vettel retired from F1, but more on that later. I don't think it is why. But these countries are terrifying.
Yeah.
And people just be like, I heard someone use the argument and it stumped me because it was, not a good argument, but I was like, it makes sense. And it was like, you go to a country, and I think it was about the LGBTQIA plus community touring the world. And it's like, if you go to a place like Saudi Arabia, this is their rules, you play by their rules. And I was like, it's like, you go to someone's house to visit them, you behave accordingly.
Yeah, it doesn't make it
no,
right,
I'm not agreeing with it, but I was like, okay. And I was like, but imagine you're born there.
I just think it's a very, very dangerous place if you're not a straight male.
Even the Christians.
Yeah, it's scary.
No,
but it's terrible.
No,
And
not known for its sweeping human rights progress, Saudi Arabia.
they even banned
Who?
They even banned Lightyear. What was Buzz Lightyear's, Pixar's Lightyear? Because there's a same-sex kissing scene.
In the Lightyear film.
And they're banning all rainbow products as well.
Why? Oh, because
Morality!
because they think the pride flag will make you gay just by looking at it.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
It is really, really terrible.
So did they take away all the rainbow-colored toys?
I think that's what they're trying to do.
Even the dildos?
Do you think that they have sex dolls in Saudi Arabia?
Well, no, just if you're watching this on TikTok, it's probably been cut up and makes little sense. You got to watch the full podcast because we were talking about dildos before. I'm not just talking about dildos now. So, come on. Don't send in hate comments. We don't read them. Well, we do. We laugh, then delete it. So, you're just wasting your fingers' energy. Use a dildo instead. What has this turned into?
It's the same as every week.
That's true. I'm just in sometimes better or worse moods.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
But Saudi Arabia is also doing very progressive things. No, they're not. Can't even let people be in same-sex sort of relationships. But they are building a new city called The Line.
The Line.
And no surprises, it's as straight as an arrow. Yeah, okay. I think I'm going to stop the puns.
No, I like them.
No, I'm going to stop them. And it's not called The Line.
It is called The Line.
Oh, I thought it was called the Mirror City. Was that what I think it is? Sam thinks it should be called Mirror City. Look within. Welcome to Mirror City. The Saudi government, I will be here all week.
No, but it's because there's a mirror on either side. So apparently it's 200 meters wide. So it's actually very narrow, but then 100 miles long. So it can it'll house 9 million residents, and it'll have massive mirrors on either side to blend into the desert, like where it is. It's this like insane, futuristic, utopian mega city that they are creating.
I opt out of that one.
What do you mean?
They're making it big glass so they can see what you're doing and then arrest you, the bloody Saudi Arabians.
Yeah, some positive publicity.
Yeah. No, I mean, if they paid me enough, I'd go and live there. But speaking of places you don't really want to live, Ukraine. If you're just joining us, there is a war going on.
I mean, you probably hear it elsewhere as well.
You've probably seen
Not
it
just here,
on other news sort of comedy outlets. But yeah, so what's going on there? Because you said you phoned me up. You said, Samuel, you're not going to believe it. There's some good news coming out of Ukraine for our Ukrainian listeners and some of the Russians who sympathize with the Ukrainians.
Yeah.
So what is it?
That they're hosting cleanup raves. So like hundreds of volunteers are getting together, putting on some rave music, and then just cleaning up buildings that have been bombed, essentially.
I can't think of anything worse. Listening to techno music while cleaning up. That sounds like my nightmare. Yeah. While shells go off in the distance.
I prefer true crime.
Yeah. But that is pretty cool.
No, but it's also for people who've missed. I mean, this has been going on for months now. You know, normal life has been disturbed. So you get to have a bit of a party. A smile on your face.
I think you'd have to be on one massive drug trip to enjoy that. Like, woohoo, things are normal while you're like cleaning up a church that has been destroyed by. But no, that was meant to be happier than it was.
Well, they've restored the center and 15 homes in the village. So they've done multiple cleanup raves, and they're doing great work.
That is great work, and
that is awesome.
It's good to see. But there's also, when this news comes out, we're now more into like these Eastern European news outlets, and there's a vodka pipeline that has been discovered between Ukraine and Moldova, and it's just 300 meters, not the biggest, pipeline that you've ever come across, but designed to transport and bootleg alcohol, which I suppose is a redundant sentence because I think that's what bootlegging is. But Chloe always comes with facts, big facts. Woo! So Chloe, what is bootlegging? Because I've always used it as a term. Bootleggers have stolen the term in true bootlegging fashion, taken over South Africa, served mediocre coffee, if we're being honest. If we've been sponsored, it's delicious, which we aren't. So we'll tell you the truth. It's like those machine guns. No, I mean those guns to massage you. They don't work.
No, they do.
No, they don't work.
Please.
Oh wait, no. Your family members work there. They do work. I forgot about that.
No, they're great. So what is bootleg alcohol?
Yeah.
So the term bootlegging seems originally to have been used in the Midwest in the 1880s to denote the practice of concealing flasks. Guess where? In your bootleg. When white colonists were trading with Native Americans. That is a quote. I don't know if you can use that term anymore.
I don't think you have to say white colonists. You can just say colonists.
Yeah.
Just joking. Shaka Zulu was also a terrifying human being. So, people are bad. But we will agree that the majority was old whitey. And the Portuguese, they kind of got off a lot easier than most.
They did.
It's because they're beautiful people. Like the British, you're like, yeah.
On the outside.
Yeah, but not to check yourself before you wreck yourself, Vasco. You greedy little adventurer. Fucking pig. Dagama. But yeah, okay. Yeah. There's a lot of sort of colonial / settler history. Happened a lot in Australia, happened in South Africa, obviously happened in the US here, where the settlers arrive. Settlers are the ones who have come. Yes, the settlers have arrived. These people arrive and they open up these sorts of indigenous populations. Don't know if that's the right term. Sounded less weird than native populations. So indigenous populations, people that were there first, and get them hooked on alcohol and drugs, and actually use that to cripple them.
Yeah.
And you see it in your friends who cripple themselves every weekend. But quite crazy that
it is.
And then in South Africa, we were all bootleggers briefly during lockdown.
Pineapple beer.
Pineapple beer. Even just transporting beer. It was, people were like, I'd love to come, but got a case in my car. Can't be driving at these hours. It's 10 to life. And I read the wildest thing that it's around 200 cases that are still in the South African judicial system regarding lockdown laws.
Really?
That were broken, even though that there's this sort of state of emergency and, all of the lockdown laws have been done away with. Which is great. It's like that cannabis thing and weed and I'm doing 15 years in jail for selling weed. Now companies legal. Like, hey, want to chill out, man? Are you stressed because of the pandemic? It's going to cost you. The sativa ain't cheap, baby. So...
Yeah,
crazy times.
Like wine farms, they'd be like, "Do you want some tea?" You're like, "No, thank you." Then I like, "No, some tea." You're like, "Oh yeah, thanks."
Yes, sir.
Yes,
but
sir.
Yeah, crazy times. What else is going on? The COVID world has calmed down a bit, which is good. I think.
In India, speaking of COVID, there was an Indian health official who injected 30 different students with one syringe, vaccinating them against COVID-19.
Yep. But not the AIDS. That is something else.
Well, I mean, what a way to transfer disease from person to person by using the same syringe. And you'd think, if you're a health official, surely you're like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe all of my training tells me otherwise. But apparently he was given just one syringe. And he thought, well...
Make hay while the sun shines.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
That's why I tell you, recycling does not work. And if you think it does, you got to check yourself. Reference to the goat Pitbull. I think of him daily. Anyway, no, that is crazy. But I also see we've stopped doing the South African Department of Health has stopped releasing statistics, which I thought they had already. You know, like
Really?
10 new cases today, 3 people have died. And then like hotspots. They've stopped doing that, and people can, they said they can return to their normal jobs, which is probably unemployment in South Africa. They're like,
Oh, dear.
the cruel reality of living in the tropics. No, but yeah, that was a very scary part of like the height of COVID-19, like waking up, checking the cases, more doom, more gloom, more deaths. And again, people now, because we seem, and fingers crossed, because, you know, monkeypox and, you know, world wars, but we're on the other end for sure, or through the worst of it, of COVID-19.
Yeah.
People like very cocky again. I was like, I saw you at Woolworths in a suit, like a hazmat suit, and then, you know, like washing your apples in your car. And then, of course, people just like now disregard that it was real. It's like, we were being lied to. No. Like a shit ton of people died, and how insensitive to them and their loved ones to be like, no, so, you know, like, I can't believe we were such sheep. No, we were fucking terrified. Everyone was terrified.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Literally trust no one.
Not even your Indian health official. That sounded racist. It was about, again, if we've clipped this is about the Indian health official in the previous story in India we were talking about. Wasn't trying to say don't trust Indian doctors. That would be mad.
We clip this podcast. Stop stressing about being taken out of context.
Yeah, we do clip it, but sometimes people clip it as well.
True.
So, who cares?
Do you know what I just want to say, quick sticks? Is how come... Okay, no, this sounds a bit... Maybe this sounds a little bit... Never mind. I was going to say...
Go for it. No, you can't. Everyone hates that. But, Oh, did you hear about thing? Oh, no, sorry. I can't tell you about it.
No. It sounded very entitled. I was going to say, I'd love a fan page.
That's not entitled. I can't believe we don't have one.
That was what I was going to say.
No, that's not entitled. That's more than fine. That's more than fine. But the monkeypox is the new thing.
Yeah.
And it's got Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer shivering. Because monkeypox seems to naturally enlarge your penis, which you no longer need Pfizer for. You don't need them dick pills. You just need to get some of that monkeypox. DTF. It's not like, oh, sorry, can't meet up, got COVID. It's like, yo, I got monkeypox. Where you at?
I'm getting big down there.
I'm getting bigger. But no.
But yeah, apparently penis swelling is a side effect of monkeypox.
And this is real. This is not what you see on Pornhub. Want a bigger dick?
Or that you see on the train, which is like an abortion, penis enlargement, marital counseling.
I'd love to get one of those people on, chat to them. But yeah, okay. So monkeypox is a lot, you know, there's a lot of fanfare around it now because the media's numbers are down. They need like stuff to, but over like 16,000 confirmed cases and only 5 deaths. So I know that sounds gross, you know, like, hey, 5 people have died. But in terms of, you know, we've gotten so used to statistics growing up in like this COVID world now that that's nowhere near the sort of COVID numbers, is it? Or is it? I don't know. I can't do maths.
No. I saw that the death rate is 1%, but I'm sure it's lower than that. No, it is definitely lower than that. But I did see a video of a guy with monkeypox.
Didn't
like
look good.
Just and it's really not. I know we're joking. It's really not something you want to get. Like for real.
I can't imagine it is.
My mom. I think we spoke about this. But my mom used to send me to people's houses with chickenpox for me to like get it over with, and I never got it. So I'm terrified of getting something like that. Literally got hand, foot, and mouth disease like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, you're getting all the baby ones. But yeah. Speaking of things that are also terrifying.
Okay.
And we're in global news, like we around the world. Yeah, I am a world-regarded trail runner now as well, so we must talk about the mountains. But when we think of human traffic jams, we think of the human centipede.
I mean, sure.
Maybe. Anyway, but what's happening now is they're happening on big mountains like Everest, heard of that one, and K2. Mm-hmm. K2. Similar to K9, but not a dog or friendly, a terrifying mountain.
Deadly mountain, yeah.
All mountains are deadly. The Megalodon. No. So what is going on there? Because you also said you got to watch this video, and then you sent it, and I didn't have the time, Chloe.
And I didn't. I didn't watch the video.
I was studying lesbian, culture in Saudi Arabia.
Okay. So. Basically, someone you know, one of those pictures that went viral. There was one a couple of years ago that went viral of this traffic jam on Everest, you know, where it's like 100 people trying to reach the summit in a very short weather window, you know, and if you get stuck up there, it's not like you can really like, oh, sorry, excuse me, let me just get down here, you know. It's not really like a place where you want to be. So this video basically went viral of this massive human traffic jam on the way up to K2, which is the deadliest mountain with Everest in the world. Yeah. Lack of oxygen, obviously freezing temperatures.
Climbing up a mountain, thousands of feet above, 1,000 feet altitude. Why can't I breathe anymore? This is crazy. Where's that oxygen gone?
But the picture of Everest that went viral was taken by, you know, we watched 14 Peaks.
Yes, with Nim.
Nim took that photo.
Beast.
beast.
People didn't like him, mate. People thought he was arrogant. That's what my parents
thought.
This is a great Netflix documentary.
You guys should watch it. Yeah.
Very cool. But he was a beast. Like he would like have a big party on base camp, and then the next day like, okay, we're going, and they're like, no, the weather's too bad. It's like, no, we have to go now, otherwise we don't break this record. And he went. Like, think of how useless you are when you're hungover. You know, it's even a stretch to get to the McDonald's, the Uber Eats guy. You're like, no, it's too far. I can't do it. So yeah.
No, and he saved lives while he was doing it and completed it in like 180 days or something like that.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
It is crazy. And you know, the world is very crazy, but we also got to touch on pop culture.
We do.
We're gonna chat a bit about not Boris, but Boris, the UK, the candidates there, because all of our friends are terrified. They can't make sense of politics abroad. They didn't even care about it in South Africa. Now they're in London. They know less and care, even less. So we'll do that sometime next week. But to pop culture and to Resident Crazy and failed actor / Oscar winner Will Smith. I mean, he's not a failed actor. He's probably one of the most successful of all time. But in terms of money, he's released the most bizarre apology video. And an apology video is bad when you're asking yourself, why did he make this? You know what I mean? It's like, why? It's like if a Harvey Weinstein sort of apology video came out now, you'd be like, we don't need this.
I mean, maybe not on the same level.
I'm not comparing Will Smith and Harvey Weinstein, but you know what I mean? It's like we don't need your apology video. You just slapped someone.
Yeah, it almost sort of feels like, this like post like being cancelled, and he's like, I just want to apologize to everyone, and he's like, I apologize to my wife, sorry baby, and we're like,
Yo, if there's one thing that the biggest loser in that whole thing was definitely Jada Pinkett Smith. Everyone hates her. I haven't spoken to a single person that likes her.
Fact.
Except for Will. I thought they were getting divorced. He calls her babe. But he was just like, I've tried to reach out to Chris, and his people have said he's not ready.
Oh my God. And it's just one of those, where like they switch the lights on, and then you can hear rustling, and then he sort of like, sits down really slowly. He's like, I'm ready.
Yeah, and also actors, I can't take their apology videos seriously because this is what they are paid to do. They are trained at lying and deceiving and convincing you there's someone else. So when they're like, Chris, you're like, what take are we on here? Is this? He's actually very good, so it probably is a one take. But what's going on here?
And then, he also starts talking about his trauma is, what is it? Letting people down, or like.
Yeah, that's his trauma, that he hates letting people down. So to the fans, shut up.
Shut up.
There's even worse news on the horizon because Shakira, oh baby, when you walk like that. She faces 8 years in prison. And this is why PK cheated on her. So good for you, PK. He's a brilliant defender. He's always understood where attacks and threats come from. And he was like, let me cheat on her. She's going to jail. Anyway, that's just not true. But, and obviously when you're a celebrity, unless you're O.J. Simpson who murdered people, you only really go to jail for tax fraud.
True.
So Shakira could face up to 8 years in prison because she has failed to pay the Spanish government nearly 15 million US dollars between 2012 and 2014. First of all, holy shit, that's a lot of money to be. Because if you've been taxed that, imagine how much you're earning. So go queen, hayas. But yeah. The prosecutors are also seeking a $24.5 million fine.
Yeah, and she also...
That's unpayable.
I tried to look up her net worth and I was like, no, she can definitely afford that. But she's pleading innocence. So she was offered a... your hair just looks so beautiful. But she was offered not a plea deal, one of those bargaining things where she admits to it, pays the money, we all move on. She's like, no, I didn't do that. So now she's going to have to go to trial and they're suggesting 8 years. Imagine being in prison with Shakira.
Cheapest.
Have you?
She would orange is the new black wherever she goes. Oh yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Have you seen her doing the Mawani don't jiggle jiggle it folds and she's doing the dance? And I mean, how old is she now? 50, and she looks incredible.
No, since she waka-waka'd her way into South African hearts. I remember I think it was She-Wolf when she's dancing in a cage.
Oh, yeah.
That was the first time I was erect in public.
Sam made me watch that video.
Well, I mean, the first time I was erect in public wasn't when I was 25. It was with the boys. No, we're watching MTV and that came on and it changed my life forever.
Okay.
A contortionist. I don't know why I said any of that, to be honest. We've got to move to sport now, Chloe. Dun, 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 dun. Big city life. In the sports guy. Yeah. So we had F1 this weekend.
We did.
And it's so boring. Because when someone becomes... Well, no, the race was actually quite exciting.
Yeah.
But when someone becomes dominant in F1, they seem to become really dominant.
No, but it was still... It was a very
Max, Super Max.
Yes,
he just wins.
Yeah, but he started from 8th.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Rather than just leading the whole race.
That's true. No, fair enough. I mean, I don't think it's even controversial at this point to say he is the best driver on track.
I don't know.
Who's better?
I don't know.
And I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan. I think Lewis Hamilton's fantastic. Amazing.
I don't know, but I think if Mercedes had a faster car, I don't know, but I think Russell could be really good.
Russell's good, but I mean, Verstappen.
He has a faster car. I don't know. I just want to see them all in the same car. I would just love
Russell and Hamilton on the same car.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, well, that's why I think we stopped doing F1 coverage because we're too emotional about this. We don't spend time thinking about logical debates. We don't go, Enzo Ferrari 19.
Oh, but we get so fed up with Ferrari, guys.
Ferrari's strategy is laughable. It's almost, it's like the kid who didn't do an oral or do any preparation for their oral at school and then went to the front of the class and was so confident. Honestly, what were they? We put on the harder tire for fun.
It's we haven't used any hard tires, so we're going to have to now. And they're like, it's the worst time.
Did they have a set of softs?
Probably. But
why didn't they?
You have to use 2 compounds.
Exactly. So they could have run a set of softs at the end.
But it was at 35, 40 laps when that happens.
But so maybe not in terms of on the day of the race strategy, but in terms of just the general weekend strategy, they're idiotic. Charles Leclerc, he's so, he's just so lovable, but it's.
And poor signs.
I will buy 10 people F1 tickets to Haaaiiiiii if Verstappen doesn't win. That's how, because I'm broke.
If Verstappen doesn't win. Okay.
Yeah, it's so clear that Verstappen's going to win. If he doesn't, I will buy 10 people tickets to Haaaiiiiii.
Fab.
Chloe, it'll be a raffle. We'll get subscribers from it. There'll be a whole thing. And then the final thing we want to wrap up with today is the UFC, because there I was again, 5 a.m, throwing elbows, throwing overhand rights, just loving it. And my one takeaway from the UFC, it's not a massive one, but it's just amazing that cage fighting, MMA, is the most progressive sport in the world, because I watch a shit ton of sports. I love sport. It's literally Friday to Sunday is sport. I don't know a single other sport where women headline the event. That is what people are coming to watch. They are getting the best pay. It's about them. It's about Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena. And wow.
What a fight.
What a fight. I mean, it was Nunes domination, but the Venezuela vixen, my word, I think everyone fell in love with her because how tough is she? But again, I don't. There's no technical breakdown. There's no chatting about this. What's Conor up to? Is Khabib the size of a house yet? What? It's just, it's a crazy that in 2022, the most progressive sport is fucking cage fighting. And that's awesome.
It is awesome. And what a fight. Wow.
Did that make you want to get in the ring?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no,
absolutely not. I saw that and I was like, honestly, respect, inspiring, but wouldn't be me.
I was like, I throw a few punches and they stop bleeding. I'm like, no, I couldn't do this. So let's power through overrated, underrated and get out of here, Chloë Dog.
Okay.
Speed round of overrated, underrated.
Okay. Overrated, underrated, Uber Black.
Uber Black is...
Speedy, send me.
Is perfectly rated. You're going to pay, but it's immeasurably better than a Uber X.
Overrated, underrated, Vettel's retirement video.
Vettel's retirement video was the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life. It looked like they were doing like a BLM or like Me Too campaign and he was just announcing his retirement. I thought it was going to be like Saudi oil at the end.
Okay.
Rise up. But no, he was like, I'm done. Okay.
Last one. Overrated, underrated, penis enlargement.
Penis enlargement is underrated. If you're swanging one around. And I think that's where we'll leave it.
That's all we have time for now. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining us.
Us.
Bye.
Bye.